Welcome to Trade Pro. Here I have a classic 100 test video where I test a simple strategy using some indicator out there and see how it performs over a series of many trades. So I'm going to explain the simple strategy to you and show you this kind of interesting indicator called Ghosty's Snow-Capped Mountain V2. I had never seen this one, but a subscriber sent it to me and asked that I test it 100 times. And seeing as I haven't done a 100 test video in a bit, I thought it would be a good idea. They do actually provide a simple strategy with the indicator, and it's just a free indicator off of TradingView. I'll show you what they say to do with it, but it is essentially a similar thing to the super trend, but combined with these moving averages and these sort of trend indicators. But we'll get into it. I'll talk about the strategy. I'm going to test it 100 times. Just quickly want to shout out my new affiliate before getting into things here, and that is Capitalize.ai. Check out the link in the description down below. They are doing really awesome things for the trading community with trading automation for everyone. So you don't need to know how to code. They have figured out a way where you can use simple common English to code an automated trading strategy, and you don't necessarily need to use it for only automated trading. You can also use it for one-off automated entries. If you're going to be sleeping and you just want to set a certain condition to be triggered, you can have it do that for you as well. They also have TradingView webhook integration. So it's really been a game changer for their users, and it's great that they have finally integrated with TradingView webhooks, as TradingView is just such a popular platform. So check out Capitalize.ai in the description and check, they're doing really awesome things if you're interested in automated trading or even just one-off automated trades. Check it out. But let's get into the strategy and the video. So here I am on the 4-hour time frame with just the Ghosty Snow-Capped Mountain V2 indicator and a daily time frame 200 exponential moving average. It's the daily time frame 200 EMA because it's the main trend direction indicator. I'm only going to be taking long signals when price is over the daily 200 EMA and only shorts when price is under the daily 200 EMA. Now I'm just going to pop up the explanation from the creator of this indicator, and so we can see what they say for a basic strategy. And this is basically what I'm going to be doing in this 100 test. So what they say for a long position, the ice begins, and that's this kind of white peak that you see on the indicator. An up smooth candle begins, and that's this green sort of smoothed out little candles below the actual price candles. And then we have the uptrend line, so that's that big main green line here. And then it's just the opposite for a short. The ice comes to an end. There's the down smooth candles beginning, and then the downtrend line begins. So let's just go in, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing for stop loss placement, as well as the way that the profit is taken. So for a long position, of course, price needs to be over the 200 period exponential moving average of the daily time frame. And we need to get all those indications. So we get the green candles here, the smooth candles. We have the ice forming up on top. We have the green uptrend line, and that all occurs on this candle. So that's going to be the long entry candle. The stop loss will be placed at the gray area just below the white snow. And my first target will be 1 times the risk. Okay, at this point, once price has reached 1 times the risk, half the profit will be taken and the stop loss will be moved to break even. And the extra part of the position that's still open is only going to be closed when the trend signals a change. So we get the red indication, and that would be way up here. So with this one, the second half would be closed all the way up here. And that's the strategy that I'm going to be testing 100 times. For this particular one, the position does extremely well, that second half that's still open. It doesn't always work out that well, of course, but that's why we're going to test it 100 times and see how well it works. I'll just quickly go over a short example. So right here would be a short now that price is under the 200 period exponential moving average, this would be the entry candle. And then the stop loss will be placed just at the top of the gray here and targeting 1 times the risk. And with this one, it reaches that 1 times risk profit target, but then it would get stopped out at break even right here. So you would just close out that second half at break even and you'd have a profit on that one. Okay, so really simple strategy, doing the multi-stage take profit and letting it ride. So it'll be interesting to see the results out of this one. I think that's pretty much all I need to explain for this strategy. It's so simple. And I'm going to do the 100 test now and go over all the results at the end. Let's go. All right, results are in, so let's quickly go over them and then talk about how I recommend that you trade with this indicator, as it is much different than what the indicator creator is suggesting, and I believe much better. So let's quickly go through these results and then talk about what strategy I recommend using with this indicator. Now, this was tested on euro against the US dollar 4-hour time frame using a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio where the stop is moved to break even at that 1-to-1 target. Half the position is closed and then the other half is let run until the close signal occurs. There were 58 winners and 42 losses. The most won in a row was 7 and the most lost in a row was 4. The gain on the account was 17.135% if risking 1% of the account equity per trade. So it didn't perform terribly. It didn't perform very well. That's why I'm going to talk about how you can greatly improve it and make it perform well. Now, trades that were stopped out at break even, there were 40. So 40 of the trades only hit that 1-to-1 target and then got stopped out at break even after that, totaling a 20% gain on the account, each one where you only have half of the position closed at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio target. You're only going to get 0.5% per trade. So only 20% gain on the account from those 40 wins. The successful swing trades, there were only 18 of. But those totaled 39.135% gain on the account because a lot of those went 10 times, 7 times, or 3-4 times the risk. So some big swings in there really made up for a big portion of that gain on the account figure. And then there were 42 outright losses, so minus 42% on the account from those 42 if risking 1% per trade. So now that the results are gone over, I'm going to talk about how to actually trade with this indicator, how I recommend trading with it, and then I'll go to the strategy ranking spreadsheet at the end and just see where it falls on there. So let's get into how I recommend trading with this indicator. So with the main problem with the way that it was being presented from the creator is often when you get these entries with this indicator, price is already extended. So this is a perfect example right here. You get this entry right at the bottom here while price is extended, and then it pulls back right after that. So that's why this doesn't really work as a good entry indicator, is often you get in while price is already extended if using this as an entry indicator. I recommend using it as a trend direction indicator and also a place to find good entries. So what I recommend doing is waiting and seeing what it tells you the trend is. Only trade in the direction that it tells you. But how do you get entries? You wait for the pullbacks into these smoothed trend candles. So whatever this is telling you, go trade in that direction, but only when you get the pullbacks into the smooth trend candles. So we can take a look back and you get the pullback here, you get the pullback here, here. You can see how well it would work if you trade on these pullbacks using this as your trend direction indicator. So instead of entering here, you can get a much better entry up above these trend smoothing candles. And you get multiple entries in the trend instead of just one signal. So you can get more entries, better entries, not entering when the market is already extended. So in my opinion, just a far superior way to trade, getting in on these pullbacks with the trend direction that this indicator is telling you. So you could use this as a one-size-fits-all indicator where you don't have any other indicators helping you. But don't use it as an entry signal indicator. Get in on these pullbacks into these smoothed trend candles. I believe that is going to be the best way to trade with it. Although, of course, I would recommend using a multi-time frame analysis, using some divergence to really spot the end of these pullbacks. But using it as a trend direction indicator seems to be great. Just wouldn't use it as an entry indicator myself. So yeah, that's how I'd recommend using it. You can, of course, use hidden divergence, regular divergence, multi-time frame analysis. You can add in all sorts of things with it, but it on its own, don't use it as an entry signal. All right. So now let's go to the strategy ranking spreadsheet, see where this one falls. Obviously, 17%, not going to do too well, but kind of interesting, just see where it falls. So let's check it out. All right. Heading on over here. 55 out of 71 strategies on the spreadsheet. So not doing too hot here. Of course, tons of things you can do to improve the results. You could figure out a better way to do the risk reward ratio, and you could figure out a better way to do the entries and not use the indicator itself for the entries. But that's where it falls. Ghosty's snow-capped mountain. Very interesting indicator, and I actually kind of like it. So definitely think it's a cool indicator, and I haven't seen it. Kind of reminds me of a super trend with some EMAs, but definitely not a good entry indicator. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, comment for the YouTube algorithm, and have a great day. Thank you.